Haribo to all my brothers and my sisters, and welcome back to Astral Motivation. Today, we're going to be having a very special segment where we're going to be looking into the 2024 USA predictions. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Vinodini Dasi. I am a Vedic astrologer and seeker of ancient knowledge. So if you are into any of that, you're a seeker yourself, make sure to hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell so that you never miss any of the nectar. Alrighty, let's see what this upcoming 2024 has in store for the country of the United States of America.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda.
Alrighty, guys. So first, I would like to let you know that we can definitely have predictions for countries. Absolutely, we can. In this case, of course, we know the Independence Day of the United States of America being July 4th, 1776, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at 1830. And this is the chart that I'm going to be using. And we can literally bring out astrology charts from anything that has a birth, and a country is no different from that. So we can definitely use the astrological blueprint, this natal chart of the United States of America, to be able to create the predictions that may happen this year and what we should be watching out for as a collective, as the citizens of this country. So wanted to let you guys know that there's definitely a lot of ability to use astrology to make these predictions. Now, let's talk a little bit about the USA chart and why I would like to do this. Well, this is a very important year for the USA. We can be seeing already in the news that this is an election year and it's a very important year. We are in the midst of a lot of changes economically and globally. And of course, the United States is one of the most important countries in the world. It's like everything is based on the dollar. So this country is very, very, very powerful, and it's going to be going through some very powerful purifications of karma. We could already be seeing it in January. We already seen the tensions fighting over the border that intensifies in Texas, and these tensions that are currently happening. And this is just a small fraction. We also have the stock market, which recently we have one of the biggest banks of New York to literally crash 50% down. So there's a lot of things going on, and it's just the first month of 2024. So how about we look a little bit deeper into these things that are about to happen, guys, because there is definitely major shifts happening. So first and foremost, I want to pull the chart of the United States here. I wasn't able to get the Vedic chart, so bear with me. We're going to be using a style of a Western look, but it's going to be having the accuracy, the degrees, and the calculations of the Vedic astrology. So bear with me on this. This is the chart of the United States of America. And as we can see, this is with the Vedic calculations. Bear with me if you guys would like to understand a little bit more. It starts with the ascendant here, and then we're going 1, first house, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9, 10, 11, and 12. It goes around. It's in a circle instead of a diamond. Anyways, let's talk a little bit about the chart of the United States of America. Vedic calculations. We have here that it's an ascendant Sagittarius, and it's a very, very powerful ascendant that falls in the 8th degree. So it's the Mula Nakshatra. This is a very powerful nakshatra that actually points to the dark, the black hole in our universe. It's the nakshatra that is looking directly at the black hole. And Mula in Sanskrit means the root. So this is an energy that is very purifying. This is an energy that goes down into the root of things, is very blunt, is very, you have that typical Sagittarian person that is very blunt and gets to the root of situations and just gets it down and cuts to the chase, sometimes to the point that is very intense. This is definitely that Mula Nakshatra. So the United States has this ability to get to the root of a situation, to influence and to uproot anything that may not be good. So this is when it's in its highest vibration. We can also see that we have a lot of energy going on in the 7th house. We literally have 4 planets in this sector. That's most of the energy is pushing towards this energy of relationships and commitments, which shows us that the United States has a lot of, not I want to say dependency, but there's a lot of influence of the relationships. When we have the sun in the seventh house, this is an energy that identifies itself through the relationships that it has. And this is the reason why the United States is such a globalized country. It's like it always wants to make these connections, have these commitments. It is always embracing having a sense of commitments. And it almost identifies itself with the allies that it comes into contracts with or anything like this. So the influences and the people are very, very important to the United States. And the public relations part of the government is pretty much the reason why this government is so successful economically. We also have Jupiter making it expansive. It always brings more people, more connections. It blesses these commitments. And we also have Venus, so they definitely know how to show up, how to, enchant. If they're going to have like a first meeting with another country, they definitely know how to be polite and precise and etiquette. And I mean, they just know how to show up perfectly. And they do have, the energy here of the United States chart does want to have this energy to help others and to, show up for others, especially their commitments that they have already established with certain allies. Now, the twist of the situation is that we also have Mercury retrograde in the seventh house. This is when we start running into issues where maybe the communication factor is what ends up sabotaging certain relationships for the United States. This is a chart, or this is a country that is meant to be very truthful, that is meant to really speak up and say the truth, to not hide. But having a Mercury retrograde, it wants to equivocate the truth. It gets tempted to lie. It gets tempted to not say. It gets tempted to swallow its words. It gets tempted to equivocate the truth. It gets tempted to manipulate. Okay, so this is something definitely that we see. And the fact that it's in third degree, which seems to be the lowest, it's a lot of things that the United States needs to learn. Mercury is still learning a lot about how to truly communicate and not end up in a communication that messes up the relationships and the commitments. So a lot of relationship energy here based. Pretty much, who you hang out with is who you will be. And this is something that the United States really needs to take into account. Now, of course, we're super hard workers. We have Saturn in the 10th, super hardworking, ready to work. We have Pluto in the first, super powerful. We just have this powerful, presence into anything that we're doing. And we also have Mars in the 6th house, making us great at the military. No wonder our military is so powerful. And we are always ready to work. So there's definitely a chart of work. There's definitely a chart of a lot of work and a lot of hustle and be powerful and make it happen and work very hard. But the catch is in the relationships. The catch is in how are you having these relations with other allies and other countries, and how much does it influence you? How much does it affect you? How much do you affect the other party? Like, it's very, very about this diplomacy in this country needs to be impeccable for this energy to really flow in the best way possible. Now, we also have the moon here in Aquarius in the second house. Okay, so there's a lot of things going on with the money sector. Okay, because we have K2 here in the sector of money in Capricorn, this shows me that the karmic energy of this country is that it has an addiction to greed. It has an addiction to greed and to corporate, making it giant corporations of businesses. And it doesn't matter about what we feel, it doesn't matter how we make people feel, it's just a matter of numbers, getting it right. Capitalism, it definitely has that very, very, very strong here. Not saying that capitalism is bad, not at all, just saying that it has this tendency to overwork, over endeavor, because of money, because of greed, because it has this, we can say, addiction to the greed and the money that it wants to create. Even though this is a country that knows how to make money. When you have K2 in the second house, you don't got to worry about money. Money's going to come to you. You know how to make money. Why do you need to go chase it? I mean, recently I saw this research where literally Wells Fargo, I believe it was Wells Fargo or Chase, has the same amount of money as all the countries combined in the world, except for the United States. Like, that's crazy. That's trillions of trillions of trillions, and it's just one company in a country, which has more money than a country itself. So there is a lot of this greed and this, like, this is the comfort zone. Make money, greed, numbers, business, 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 work, 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 work. Status, 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 status. Definitely has that very, very strong. And maybe this is the reason the consumerism attitudes and all these things that we have is actually coming from this karmic energy of the chart of the United States. Now, in this chart, it is not encouraging. It is actually saying, hey, it's time to renounce this greed. It's time to renounce this over addiction to status and greed and consumerism and all these things. Because interestingly enough, it does have a little bit of this thing where yeah, you get what you want, but you don't even get to enjoy it that much because K2 is already detaching you from that. It's already detaching you from whatever you could have felt so that it helps you go to the other way. Now, what is the other way? And the true destiny of the United States is to really work in an intimate relationship with other parties and to not abuse the power and to work in a more mystical way. So if it was more based on spirituality, if it was more based on the invisible parts of life, not so superficial. This is what we're talking about. We are not meant to have such a superficial life and such a superficial culture. We are meant to go into something deeper, deeper questions. And that's why, people from the United States, we're incredible researchers. Like, we find some information out. So this is like an energy that it's saying, don't be afraid of the things that are invisible. Honor the mysticism of life. Go towards them. Not everything is about work. Not everything is about, my numbers and the superficiality. There's a deeper thing here where there should be more of an encouragement of unison and intimacy and connection, even in between families. That we're not so separate, so detached, that there's some sense of intimacy and that things are not so superficial. So this is for what I see in the chart of the United States. Now, let's go into the energies of 2024 and how is it going to be affecting it then. Oops. So here we go. Just so that we put the other chart here. So the chart that you see inside is the chart of the United States, and the external chart is the chart of the movements that we're going to be having in 2024. So we're starting the January. Of course, we just felt all this energy where we are kind of re-empowering ourselves. We can see that we're having a Pluto return. So Pluto takes around 180 something years to go all the way around, and it's literally coming back here. This is when it was actually the independence and the revolution happened. So this lets us know that we're kind of in the cycle for a transformation through some sort of revolution in a way or another. Aside from this, we are also having a Sati Sati. Saturn is extremely close to the moon right now. This is called Sati Sati. When Saturn transits the natal moon, this is a 7-year period of a lot of hardship. And we are just like 3 years into it, 3.5 years into it. We're right in the midst of the most heaviest, dense period right now, with Saturn really transiting in these energies with the moon. And it's going to be here the whole year. We are also having Rahu going into the 4th house, touching Chiron. Chiron is the spiritual wound of a chart. So this is where like it hurts the United States. Like this is its debilitated, sort of like very sensitive Achilles heel. And we have Rahu here right now, really again stimulating that. So, and we also have Ketu touching on Saturn, releasing structures, demolishing structures. We are renouncing some sort of major structure or foundation that we've been with for the past 18 years. So we're going through a transformation at this time. So this is for the first month of January. But then when we go to February, now February, there's going to be more focus going on in the sector of money. And I am definitely seeing that in February, we're going to be having lots of things going on with the situations of money. We're going to be having K2 being stimulated by all these planets. So this situation that we saw recently with the banks, that one of the banks in New York started going down, and also we already have most of the banks already trying to pass laws so that they can get away with it and, just get bailed out once again. But there's a lot of situations going on with money right now. And in February, things are going to get more hairy, especially at the end part of February. We're going to be having some major things going on. So I will say that by the end of February, there might be more expenses. We're going to see more expenses in the economy. There is going to be more money being made, but there's going to be a lot of volatility in the economy for this upcoming February time. So, again, not necessarily the best time to do something crazy with your finances. Just watch and see the things that are happening with America during this time. There's going to be a lot of propaganda, a lot of, again, so much talking, so much media, so much of all these things. Most probably at this part, the elections are now like talking about the economy and the finances and all these things. So this is going to become the main sector right now for February. Then for the month of March, we're going to be stepping more again. The month of March is going to be lots and lots of situations going on with the media. So March is gonna, I definitely see like a fight of media, like overload of information, so more, more division sort from thoughts, from ways of thinking. Some people think like this, some people think like that. So it's gonna be very polarized. And the best thing I could say is that this is like calling for us as a collective, as citizens, to be more sober and to be more grounded and to relax our nervous systems. Like, don't be so reactive to everything. Don't be so reactive to contrast. Like, be more equanimous. Watch your thoughts. Watch what you think. This is what is in a collective, because there is going to be lots of reactivity here. Lots of reactivity. Some people may say something that they weren't supposed to say. There's going to be some slip outs. There's going to be, because impulsively this happened. Like, impulsibility leads to the bad things. And this could lead to bad talk, bad media, some weird, drama happening during this month of March. And then, of course, how could we forget um, the crazy eclipse that we're going to be having on April, right on the X. There's going to be an X happening in the eclipse, how it's going to be traveling right on Texas. And we're already having all these things about the border control, all these things. So the eclipse is just going to bring even more wood to the fire, to be honest. And that is going to be in this time of our April. So April, guys, I will say that it's going to be a pretty heavy month, because we're going to be having all this Chiron, the wound that we were talking about in the United States. This little wound here is going to be irritated with the eclipse. And the fact that it's running right on top of the United States, it's even more. My best suggestion, don't go out on the eclipse. I know there's going to be a bunch of events to go see the eclipse, but it's actually extremely inauspicious. It's not really good. But however, that's for another discussion. Watch the video. I'm going to be doing a video on that, so follow. However, the April time, there is going to be lots and lots of craziness going on with home-based matters, with homeland matters. And we're also having Mercury retrograding at this time. So again, media, propaganda, somebody said this, somebody said that, confusion, mental confusion, like all these things are going to be pretty much the main thing in the sector of Chiron here, and also with the energies of Saturn with K2 is telling the United States that the structures are being demolished, are being disintegrated before our eyes. So don't hold on. Don't hold on tight to these old ways, old structures. It's like we're ready for some new foundation. Now, however, we can take this, the powers that be can definitely take this foundation into something very negative, but I'm just saying this so that us as the citizens, we can also derive this and take it into a better direction. But April will be powerful, will be intense, and it will bring a lot of turbulent energy. April will be memorable, especially with the Saturn and the Aquarius, Saturn and Mars here in Aquarius. I see a lot of protests, people really standing up for their human rights. They're not taking it anymore, and it's really causing a lot of pressure to the United States with the moon here, and then the eclipse, and this being stimulated. So April, I see it to be quite the month. And then for the month of May, for the month of May, the energies have subsided, but now we're going to be having Mars coming into Rahu very soon. So again, I'm still feeling tensions are heightened. Energy is heightened, energy is up. Um, we're still kind of still feeling the aftermath of April in May, but we're starting to subside these energies a little bit more. But life is definitely, again, I see the citizens having lots of balls at this time. You know, Mars is coming in and really propelling a lot of action taking. And if you get mad, get mad. Like it's really propelling for us to not be stagnant and let things happen, but for us to really take some action. And because it's going to be transiting in the fourth house of the home, there is going to be some turbulence again. I do see a lot of turbulence inside the United States with its own citizens, because they're trying to organize their home, but people are going to be ready to fight. Let's just say that. So May is still looking quite powerful here, still going through that aftermath. And then for June, June is going to be very interesting because in June, now we're stepping into a lot of economical shifts. This could already be happening from May to June, but June, it gets very, very predominant. Economical shifts, economical things that we're dealing with right now. The health of the country is going to be major. And I definitely see that this is where we can really start seeing the problems. The good thing is that we're going to be having some problem solving energy. Like we're going to be very attentive to how we can fix these problems. But we're going to start really seeing, oh my gosh, the problem, the obstacle, the enemy, this issue, that issue, like it's really going to come to the forefront, and it's really going to ask and demand that things need to shift. Things need the way our day-to life, the way that we're approaching it, the way that we're going about it, the health of the country, the health of our economy, the health of the people. It's going to become something huge, 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 huge during this time. And again, the economy. So I'm really seeing that this could be a time of a lot of economical shifts, economical transformations, economical volatility. I also see that there could be issues also with the agriculture. I know maybe this is not so much in America, but in Europe, there's already a lot of big farmers and dairy farmers and farmers who are protesting a lot with the governments, and this could start seeping into the United States as well after June of this year. But it's about having a healthier mindset. I'm also seeing that there could be more military energy going on here. We may be starting to get ourselves, impulsively like, all right, let's fight. Like, let's go for it. Like there's more of an energy to, yeah, I'm not afraid to go and fight, and there's already been this sort of tension here as well. So I am seeing that this is a shift in our day to day, and it's also telling us to be healthier, and things that are not healthy in our country will be coming to the forefront very strong. This could also, and God forbid, this could also start bringing some sort of issue, again, a health issue, because this is the house of health. So be in the lookout for that, because there could also be some health issue or some new strand or some new whatever, like during this time. There could also be more pushing of pharmaceuticals as well with this energy. But the military is going to get bigger. There's going to be this energy to want to go fight, like, okay, let's go. And there's definitely ready to go and face off the enemies. I see this. Then for July, we are now stepping into cooling it down. Maybe in July, we're starting to have a little bit more diplomatic talks. Okay, but again, it's going to come in the forefront, our relationships and the relationships that we have with the world, with other countries. It's going to be very, very predominant. And again, a lot of there could be some sort of surprise health in the health center, in the medical sector that comes. I'm just seeing it from Jupiter and Uranus. This expands the unpredictability of the health of the country. And I'm talking about the health, like our vital health as human beings here. So the July, it's looking like, again, nah, I don't see too much energy going on here. Things are trying to cool off. Things are trying to subside. Maybe the only thing I would say here is watch out for this aspect here, where Mars and Uranus can be coming in, and there could be some sort of surprise attack or surprise thing happening, or something out of nowhere where it's like nobody saw that coming. Boom, there could be something like that in the month of July. Then on the month of August, um, in the month of August, again, we're going to be having Mercury retrograding, and it's going to be retrograding in the stock market. So I do see a lot of things going on in the stock market. Again, volatility economically wise, with the dollar, with the stocks overall during the month of August. We're also, again, having this Mars conjunct with Uranus here. But the good thing is that I do see that this is going to be a month where we may not have, we're going to be stronger to fight the enemy, and it's going to be empowering. So, but again, it could also bring enemies inside the country, like this could also happen too, because I'm really seeing, guys, that by the end of the year we can definitely be having some sort of civil war breakout, to be honest. This is another reason why I want to do this video, because I've been seeing it. So by August, we're having this, like, something going on in the markets. We have to reevaluate it, go over. Maybe this is the time we have to bail them out once again. This whole thing of the shenanigans of bailing them out. And yeah, there's still anger and frustration that could be building up very, very, very easily during this time within the country itself or with outside people. So that's August. In September, this is a time where Venus is going to be debilitated. And that is definitely, we could be seeing some issues in the status of the United States during this time. And we're also having a little bit, again, the aggression, the fight going on. So I still see tensions during this time. Now more than ever, like my way or the highway, when Mars is going to start transiting through this hole, it becomes very, very fight, conflict based with all the relationships. So if the United States is having its relationships, we've got to be careful, because this could be a time where we can piss one of our relationships off, and it's not good, So that's going to be for this upcoming September through October. We're having this energy. Yes, this is a time to, again, I'm feeling tensions building up still, fights, my way, no your way, no my way, like these sort of tensions and conflicts, power struggles in the community and in the world with them. In November, we're still dealing with this energy. I really feel like at the end of the year, there's going to be a lot of tension going on. Planets are going to be mostly retrograding. Jupiter's going to be retrograding. Saturn's going to be retrograding. Mars is going to be retrograding in December. And it's the planet of war is crossing through all our alliances during the month of October and November. And so this is what I'm starting to see, things getting really, really, again, tense. By this time, we're also selecting a president. And so, again, we're seeing lots of energy here that I definitely see some tension going on. And then, of course, by December, we are entering into Mars retrograding in this sector of relationships, of commitments in Cancer, which is its debilitation, like the worst situation where Mars is in debilitation in Cancer and now retrograding. This, I definitely see that is going to cause major homeland fights and issues and tensions. We might be repressed from fighting back. I see this too, but people do want to fight back. There's going to be this sort of tug of war, a very powerful tug of war that will be happening during the last month of the year. And this is when I see that this aspect can easily bring some breakout, some violent breakout in the United States of America. And that's just no bias here, just really seeing what I see in the astrology. So that is pretty much the predictions that I've been seeing for the United States of America for 2024, guys. I really hope, let's see how it goes, and how, we are all connected. I brought you these messages so that we can all prepare as a collective and how we want to move forward in this sort of human situation now with Saturn in Aquarius. It's really demanding for us to get serious about our humanity and how we come together as people. Alrighty, everybody, thank you so much. Oh, actually, I also wanted to bring you guys a Vedic Oracle for this upcoming month, for this upcoming 2024, and what the Ram cards see for this energies. So first, I got that there is going to be astrological influences that will be very hard on this country this year. And what we need to really focus on with these astrological situations is in the 5 planets that are going to be conjunct at the same time. So that, like I mentioned, was this May time. Let me see, May. Oops, May. I believe it was May time where we're going to have all of those planets in. Yes. Let me show you guys right here. This is the time we need to be very cautious because we're going to have these 4 planets in Taurus at this time. Also, on the March 1, we are also having all these planets in Pisces as well. So I even think it might be also April on the eclipse. That is going to be quite the stuff. We need to be very, very cautious on that time because that seems to be the time that is going to be the most intense astrologically. Now, the other messages that we have here is actually hope. I love this. Hope. Saying, help from a separate friend leads to an improvement in our projects. So again, the relationships are very important for the United States, always. And so our alliances are going to be very, very important. And we have here, acknowledge those who serve. So it might also be that the United States needs to acknowledge those who serve, like the military, the veterans, like those people who are really serving, those people who are really trying, and us really coming from a place of service as well will benefit the United States. And last but not least, which is my favorite message, is that we have a great quest that unfolds with favorable signs. So it seems that take the joyful journey, align with nature. So if we take the joyful journey and we align with nature, we align with our humanity, we align with divinity, we align with those things that are timeless in nature, like God, nature, the truth, love. Connecting to these things is what's really going to help us through this process, because there is going to be lots of fear-mongering during this upcoming year. Alrighty, everybody, I hope that you guys enjoyed this analysis that I have for the US 2024 predictions. I truly appreciate you guys, and if you guys would like to have a reading with me, then definitely check out the description here below. And also, I highly suggest that if you want to be on top of all the things that are going on for 2024, then definitely get my Astro Agenda 2024. And here is the perfect astrology companion and the daily planner that you need for 2024, where you can have your do's and don'ts on a daily basis, monthly basis, and even new moon and full moon worksheets of manifestation, and so much more. So you can get that today in the link here below in Amazon. Thank you so much, and I'm sending everybody so much love and light, and I'll be seeing you guys very soon, and God bless America.